Hello there YouTube, it's your boy B3, back for another kicking action figure review. Today's review is over a Build-A-Figure from the McFarlane DC Multiverse line. It is The Darkest Knight. He's from Dark Knight's Death Metal, but also Speed Metal. Both of those comics I have reviewed the trades for on this channel if you want to check out my reviews. But, you know, this is the form that the Batman Who Laughs takes. Wonder Woman kills him. And then he finds a Dr. Manhattan Bruce Wayne, puts his mind in the Dr. Manhattan Bruce Wayne's body, and he gets basically the powers of Dr. Manhattan. But he needs more than that, if you can imagine having more power than that. He needs the Dr. Manhattan residual energy that Wally West has absorbed from the Mobius chair. I've reviewed all the comics and stuff that are leading into Dark Knight's Death Metal. I haven't reviewed all the tie-ins, but I did review the Speed Metal tie-ins. So this guy right here is actually chasing Wally West and the other Flashes, and he's using something called the Dark Flash. And I have reviewed the McFarlane figure of the Dark Flash. There were a bunch of Dark Flashes in the book that were chasing our speedsters, kind of like a pack of wild dogs that were led by the Batman Who Laughs. And McFarlane did release a figure of one of them as, I think, a Walmart exclusive under the gold label. Even though the gold label figures don't really seem to be of any higher quality than the regular figures. Ooh. I think it's just because they're single release or something, I don't know. But yeah, so you'll see him compared with all four of the speedsters needed to build him, as well as the Dark Flash in size comparisons soon. But as of right now, we're just going to take a look at the figure himself. He's actually very nice. I do have some complaints, really just one major complaint, but mostly he's pretty cool. I mean, I think he's really good looking, kind of like all the purples and stuff. You know, purple's my favorite color, and I have said this many times on the channel, but I'm a sucker for translucent figures, and he is translucent because he is made of energy. He's got that energy body. Very cool, and I love monsters and monster heroes and monster villains. He's got his big claws and his horrific skeletal jaws. I really like the kind of, it doesn't actually light up, but the glowing look of the eyes and mouth. Such a cool looking figure. I don't really have any warping on the bat ears, which is good. Detail and paint wise, his elbows and his knees, you can see, aren't translucent. I think that's because translucent plastic is a bit more fragile, so oftentimes if you have it on the joints like this, it can cause them to snap easier. And I think they were just going for durability when they gave him the matte colored joints, which is fine. But I mean, you could have made maybe just the caps translucent. I don't know. I don't really know. But, you know, I kind of respect that choice because I do believe that's for durability. Indeed. But yeah, now let's actually get fully into articulation. You got some up and down on the head. I wish it could go down further, but it goes back. It goes back pretty far. So far that comes off. So that's good. He does have jaw articulation, which I really think is cool. I love jaw articulation on these guys. That makes me so happy. Up and down on the arm, forward and back. He doesn't have, you know, the kind of butterfly-ish joints here, but, you know, they give him the jaw, so it's all good. All good. You do have a bicep swivel, forward, back, in and out, blah, blah, blah. The double elbow bend, rotation on the wrist, forward and back on the wrist. You also have, you know, all this movement on the torso. I wish it went back further. I want to kind of I want to have him posed with his arms out and like leaning back in a cackling pose. That's how I want to do it because he's the Batman Who Laughs. So I want to put him in a cackling pose, but I can't do that full lean back. You know what I'm talking about? Like, I'm just going to show you on a clip tour. Like this, I want to have him lean back and kind of have his arms out like that, cackling. But I can't, I have reviewed this clip tour, by the way, check it out. But I can't do that because it doesn't go back far enough, even with the waist. The waist doesn't really go back at all, but it does go side to side. Get forward and back on the legs, in and out, you know, all that. And it does actually rotate a little up there to give us kind of a thigh swivel, but not really. You got double bend on the knees. Up and down on those feeties. I'm not getting terribly much. Oh, there it goes. It was just really stiff, the ankle pivot. And then big old toes with peg holes for a stand, even though he doesn't have his own stand, but you can probably use another McFarlane stand. Let's actually see if one will fit. Yeah, he fits perfectly on other McFarlane stands. So that's good. That was the stand for Jay Garrick, but all four of them have the same stand. Anyways, now let's get into size comparisons. So let's lay him right here. All right. Let's have him with the Dark Flash. All right, pretty big. Pretty big. And his prey, Wally West. All right, so our Wally West Dr. Manhattan Speed Metal Flash looks fine. Now let's throw in Wallace West Kid Flash. He is a big boy. I mean, eventually he gets even bigger than this. I know. Now let's throw in Barry Allen. Pretty cool. And how about our Speed Metal Jay Garrick? Can't wait for their other Jay Garrick to come out, the more classic one. Alright, so that's him with all the Speed Metal characters. Now I'll show him with another McFarlane Speedster. Here he is with Godspeed from DC Rebirth. Pretty cool. Now let's toss in a DC Direct DC Collectibles figure. It's the DC Essentials Superman. And then we're also going to throw in a Mattel, the Sinestro Corps Cyborg Superman from DC Universe Classics. Now, often these Mattels just straight up don't scale with the McFarlanes. But since the Batman Who Laughs in his Darkest Night persona can like change his size and stuff at will and shapeshift and do all this stuff, he kind of scales with anybody. I mean, there's parts where he is the same size as everybody else, and then like towards the end he and Wonder Woman are like chucking planets at each other. They're both so gigantic. So, you know, he really works. He works with all these different lines. That's very, very cool. Very cool. Makes me really happy. So that is it for the Speed Metal Wave. We reviewed Kid Flash, we reviewed The Flash, we reviewed The Flash Barry Allen, we reviewed The Flash Jay Garrick, and The Flash Wally West, and also the Dark Flashes, which wasn't part of the wave, but, you know, is part of the story. And now we've reviewed the Build-A-Figure. I actually do want to do something real quick. I want to take the Dark Flash and compare him with the others, because I kind of maybe sort of neglected to do that in all four of the reviews, I kind of realized. So here he is with Jay Garrick. Here he is with Barry Allen. Here he is with Wally West. And here he is with Wallace West. Alright, we're good now. Now we're good. Sorry I made you wait for that. I should have just shown him in the other Speed Metal reviews. But that's it. Thank you all very much for your support. Please remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. Check out all the cool links in the description below. Facebook, Twitter, etc. And I have more coming at you, because I still got to review like the Black Adam Dr. Fate, and I got to review the Dark Knight Returns Batman, and the Batrocidus, not to mention Marvel, Super Sentai, Power Rangers, Godzilla, Ultraman, Pumpkinhead, Spawn, so many different things, Ninja Turtles, all kinds of different things to review out here. I really got to get on it. So that's it. Thank you all once again for your support, and I'll see you all, you guessed it, next time. Bye-bye for now. Wave bye-bye.